you believe that we started recording right in the middle of 2020 with all of the COVID and lockdowns going on around us, unable to meet up? So like many a young gentleman, we turned to the internet for our entertainment. Tried to find a place where we could meet up and talk about the good, the bad, and that time that Stu saw a pelican on the canal. In order to facilitate our dreams of answering all of the big questions in film, and after a few attempts at recording via other methods to various levels of success, we found Zencastr, a super easy web-based one-stop shop for recording. Log in and you're ready to record in a matter of seconds. It doesn't take a tech genius to get high-quality audio or video. And on top of that, the one time we have had an issue, the fact that the multi-layered backups are stored locally means it's easily fixed all in browser. There are plenty of tools you need when you start podcasting, so let Zencastr take that headache away as it offers a place to record, edit and distribute all from one website. Any lazy bones Jones can pick up and play and have studio quality audio or 4K video put out for the world to see when using Zencastr. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code CAGEFIGHTING and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. We want you to have the same easy experiences we do for all our podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. And now, hit the music.
I feel the need for speed.
Hello and welcome to Cage Fighting, Cruise Control. It's your main man, Andy Gillard here. Hope you're all keeping well in the world right now.
Hello. Two more.
It's like everyone. A fucking goat.
I was thinking how loud to do it because of the microphone being there. I didn't want to pop it within literally seconds of starting the episode. So, yeah. Conservative Michael Jackson impressions. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Ash Nolan. You might remember me from such podcasts as The Wrestling One and Moaning About Marvel. Hi.
And is this our first four-man pod, Andy?
I believe it is.
It's Ed, by the way. Hi.
Yeah, I think it's the first time we've been together as a foursome, I believe.
Well,
yeah, because obviously you only met like 3 weeks ago, you and Ash.
Yep.
And that's because, and obviously Stu was away for that fortnight, and then he was back, and you missed Rain Man. Was it, Ed, that you missed?
I did, yeah, gutted.
You missed the one good film.
Yep.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, of course. You can't not watch Rain Man when it's there. It's brilliant.
It is a tremendous movie. Stu, have you caught up on your films whilst you were away yet?
You better fucking have.
Well, I didn't watch Cocktail. So we saw it last year. It's disappointment anyway.
Not good enough. Watch it.
It was.
If I had to.
It was too fresh in my mind. I didn't even need to with that one. I watched Crash. Well, that film annoyed me because it was so good. Crash Site. I thought, why are you over? And then,
oh really?
It was good. Yeah, I was proper
Nothing
into
happened,
it.
Did it?
Exactly. Yeah. It was just getting going, and then it ended. I thought, no.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I get it, because I was exactly the opposite. I was like, I want more, and you haven't given it me, so I'm pissed off. But I get it. I get where you're coming from. Yeah,
and then the robot one. Well, that was, or is it Dutch Ex Machina?
Yeah,
that was pretty good. So yeah, like the blood thing. Like, is that supposed to be like shit robot blood at the end? Or is it symbolic of something else? But no, that was for one of the one that was longer than usual. I quite enjoyed that. I mean, Young Guns needed to be shorter than it was.
I like Young Guns, but it's because I've got the nostalgia for it. But you are right; it is too long.
I mean, I had more fun watching Gunslingers than that.
I was physically angry watching that film.
It was just it was the same gun sound over and over again for nearly 2 hours, and nothing really happened, and there was no funny bits in it. And I thought, okay, I remember seeing this film, and this is not what I remember it being.
I think I haven't seen the second one since we've watched this one again, but I remember the second one being the one I preferred of the two. So I do wonder if that holds up better.
It made me want to watch Three Amigos, so just to cleanse myself.
I mean, yeah, what a film that is. I suppose really we should start with segment one. What did you watch in April? Like, I know it's still the 30th of April here, but I assume we're going to get nothing else watched tonight after the pod to squeeze anything in. Ed, TV, film, books, music, whatever. Like, what was your April consisting of?
It's never music. I haven't listened to any new music since 2006. So that won't have changed. So other than the obligatory Taskmaster's back on, so I'm watching that. If you don't watch it and catch up with all of them. The only other new one, well, it's not even new, but on Netflix, I've been watching Motherland. I don't know if you've watched it. It's a BBC show.
Diane Morgan.
Diane Morgan. It's basically a group of overworked mums trying to juggle working and having kids. And other than it's obviously set in the world of Paddington, where everyone's got way more money and massive houses in London, it's really quite realistic for how knackering it is just being a working parent. Really funny. Really heartwarming in places, there's some slapstick elements as well, and it's obviously played for laughs, but there are some elements that really hit home when you're like rushing to pick up your kids on after school club. After like I did today, was in Nottingham, got all the way back to Worcester, and just about got Jacob in time before it cost me an extra £1 a fucking minute, whatever it is, for being late picking him up. So, yeah, that's probably the only thing I've watched, other than, from Stu's recommendation, watching Rip with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. And it's probably the best Netflix film that's Netflix I've seen. Genuinely worth a watch. Really, really good film. Really, really good film. And obviously those two know what they're doing, and they do it well.
Yeah. The spin-off to Motherland, Amandaland, is also worth a watch when you get there. Lucy Punch is she's brilliant in that show because she's such a nightmare, but she just holds it really well.
She's a massive dick, but in the best way. That's next when we get to it.
I don't know if that's on Netflix yet, but it is on the iPlayer.
It's on iPlayer, I've seen it advertised.
Yeah.
It's worth a watch.
Yeah. Stu, what's been on your radar the last month? Save the big one, potentially, I think, for once we're there, I think.
Yeah, there's two big ones. Both that I know that you've seen and probably got different opinions to do. Mouse PI for Hire came out last week on PS5, and it is one of the stupidest things I've played for a long, long time. It's basically Doom, but Mickey Mouse.
Okay.
So it's like so-called boomer shooters like Quake and stuff like that. It's that kind of thing. It's just running around, jumping, shooting stuff. There's a bit of detective stuff. I've only played 4 hours, but it's not like LA Noire or anything like that where you're getting clues and things like that. It's very much run and gun, cartoon, black and white. It's very, very good. It was only £25 as well. I thought, well, perfect. If that's 8 hours fun, then so be it. Great. And obviously I think we mentioned it briefly, but before I went to Orlando, I watched the Mario Galaxy movie, which I thoroughly enjoyed, while at the same time accepting that it's very much a nostalgia hit every beat, and it's relentless over and over again for the hour and 40 minutes or whatever it is. There's no let up. It's just in your face all the time. But it's a kids' film for children. So, the whole critical thing of it being panned and it's not a good film. It probably isn't a good film, but it's a fun film. So your annoyance of that before you go, obviously the later one we'll come on to in a bit. But that other than catching up on Gen V season 2, in preparation to watching the last one of the boys, it's only been football for the whole month. Not Wolves either, so good football.
Yeah, that's why everyone's smiling a little bit.
That's it, yeah. Super Mario Galaxy movie. It looked fantastic, and that's all I've got positive wise, because the graphics and everything were phenomenal. You can't really knock them for that, but there was just no story there. I was genuinely quite bored because it was just a case of wheeling out Birdo and then another character and then Peach and Daisy, and I'm like, what's the story here? That was my issue. There was no story.
Merch is the story.
Yeah.
Story for a Mario film.
Yeah, but like it needed a bit of a story, and it didn't really have them. It just sort of, like you say, he just went on and on and on, and it was not particularly interesting.
They're saving the princess. That's all you need.
Things like that. There are good kids' films available, so why do you have to serve them slop? Like, you don't. There's a way of doing it where you can give them good, productive stuff that will stay with them for a lifetime. Like, the first one was better. The first one was infinitely better, and that's only okay. There's just not enough depth there, I don't think.
Of the year, by the way.
Doesn't matter though, does it? Like, Titanic's got the biggest box office of all time. McDonald's sells the most burgers. That doesn't mean that they're the best. That just means that
the blue people are weirdly popular.
Yeah, it's Pigsville for the piggies. It's not really it, is it? Ash, you've seen Galaxy as well, haven't you? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, it exists. That it was fine. It was fine. It's just there was not a lot to it. But I went in angry because they spoiled themselves the big reveal of Star Fox. Like it enraged me. Like, why would you willingly reveal that? Not even in a trailer on Twitter. They just went, "Yep, he's here." And it's like, why are we doing this? It's like Marvel. Like, who does this benefit? You're not getting more. You're not getting more sales because fucking Star Fox is in this. Just leave it as a surprise.
Fair point, because like the kids aren't rushing to see Star Fox, are they?
No.
Yeah, who's it for? It's a bit of a strange one. What else did you watch last month?
Who, me?
Yes.
Yeah. I've been a theatre knob. I've been down to London twice to see the absolute mature things of Stranger Things: The First Shadow and Paddington the Musical. Paddington the Musical is absolutely superb. Like, it can just go and go and go. Just let it go. Just keep going. And then what else? While we were there, we did a Paddington afternoon tea on a bus tour around London, which was fantastic. There was one child on the bus of about 40 people. There was one child, and nobody cared because they all just came for Paddington. It's beautiful,
incredible.
Films. What films did I watch? I haven't seen. I'm guessing that's what the big one is. I've seen Lee Cronin's The Mummy, which was good shit. Good nasty shit. Horror. Good shit. Nasty horror, which is what you need. Let's have a look. What else have I got? I watched Pizza Movie, a Disney Plus special with Dustin from Stranger Things. It's a fun little teen stoner movie. It's a good way to pass 2 hours. Don't just leave your brain at the door and just watch it in the background. I watched Goat finally on your recommendation. Enjoyed
what did
that.
You think?
Sweet, good, nice, sweet movie. Had no complaints whatsoever. And then just this week we watched Hokum, for a preview, and that was good shit as well. Creepy as fuck, sad. Adam Scott is very underrated as a lead.
Absolutely agree. I had a real good time with it, and it's the kind of horror where you could feel the ice in your veins in parts of it, because there was just stuff that happened that was out of the blue that just, it got the feels, and I really enjoyed it. And like I said to you, Ash, there's a couple of bits that happened that weren't, like, they were a little bit scary, but they were just sad. And I kind of liked the fact that it wasn't all about jump scares, that they actually tried to do other things that just made you feel a little bit down. Because that's really what the crux of the film was about. I thought they did a great job with Hokum, and I was really, really impressed with it.
As I said to you as well, there wasn't one bit of gore at all.
No, none. I think it's out. Is it out on the 1st of May? So in our world, tomorrow, but when the podcast goes out, it's like last week. It is the 1st. It's not the 8th, is it?
No.
I thought so.
That pizza movie, is it like it? Just from the poster on Disney Plus, it looks a bit. Dude, where's my car?
A little bit, yeah.
Yes. Perfect. That's tomorrow sorted.
But it's literally what you'd think Dustin would do once he at the end of Stranger Things.
Fair. I saw the drama, Zendaya and Pattinson, and I think it might be one of my favourite films of the year. I had an absolute blast with it. It's by the director of Dream Scenario, so it's the darkest of dark comedies. But I would say go in knowing as little as possible, because the event that it centres around is so fucking bleak that it just makes it all the funnier if you don't expect what's about to happen. I saw Undertone, which I nearly shat my pants in, because similar to Hokum, there's nothing, you don't see anything. There's no blood, there's no gore, there's nothing. But the sound work in it is just incredible. It is so overwhelming as it goes on that I was so scared. I was like debating, should I close my eyes to try and avoid it? But the scares was in the ears, not the eyes, so it made absolutely no difference. It was intense and it was fantastic. I was surprised. I'd heard people reference it to like Skinamarink, which is where not a lot happens, but people found it scary. I hated Skinamarink. I thought it was dog shit. So for Undertone to be nothing like Skinamarink, but sort of like Skinamarink, ended up being quite good. Lee Cronin's The Mummy was so much funnier than I thought it was going to be. I still keep laughing when she calls the teacher a rat-faced cunt, and when the sister puts her tongue under the door to lick her other sister's toes. Just silly fucking things like that. I was the only one laughing because clearly I'm a maniac. I watched Hokum. I watched Exit 8, which I think it was out last week, and it wasn't that exciting, if I'm honest. I was a little disappointed. When Harry Met Sally, because it is it's been Rob Reiner season at the Cineworld, and it's just one of my favourite films. I think it's wonderful. And the last film to mention then is Michael. And now I presume, because Ed, you're not a music man, Ash, I know you're not a music man, only me and Stu have seen this one, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
I mean, I like Michael Jackson, but I've got no interest in a biopic.
That's probably the way to take it, to be honest. Stu, I'll give you a chance to say your piece.
He's got a fucking doll.
Oh, I know.
It used to sing black and white. Its horns in face.
Fuck me. That is.
And this was it used to sit on the top of the tree as well. Christmas. He was like my angel. You press it back at Christmas
That aged
Day.
well for you.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know what to expect, other than that it wasn't going to mention any of the stuff. So I was like, well, okay. And I liked Bohemian Rhapsody, so there was that part to it. I watched it, obviously, you know, about his dad and all that kind of stuff, and Colin Domingo was class in this, as he always is. And Jafar Jackson was very, very good as well. I mean, you can't believe he's never done anything before. But it's hard to even like talk about it because it's not a film, is it? It's like
that's the problem with it.
It's like an extended music video documentary, and so if you're judging it as a film, I can fully understand why you could just slate it and rip it apart, because it's not a film. As an experience, I fucking loved every single minute of it. I thought it was brilliant. For what it was, I'm not taking it for any of the other stuff. For what I experienced watching that thing, I had a great time. We got the Martin Bashir. Yeah, we got the Martin Bashir stuff, which is a bit of a bell end anyway. So, and everyone's got made their mind up what you believe and what you don't believe regarding him as a person. So nothing that this film's going to do is going to change your mind on that anyway. But I just thought, for what it was, I had a great old time. It's not the best thing in the world. It probably won't get in my top 5 for the year. I doubt very much if it will be. But it was. I enjoyed myself a lot more than I expected to going into it. And that's kind of all it was. I knew as soon as I walked out, I was giggling to myself thinking, he's going to hate every second of this. It's going to be hilarious. But it's not a film. It's not a film.
Mm-hmm. So, like, I hate Bohemian Rhapsody. I think it's an evil film. I think it is so badly made. It is an insult to celluloid. I don't feel that way about this film. I'm nothing Michael. I think it's just boring. The problem is, like, the songs are great because they're Michael Jackson songs, so they are good. And from what I can tell, Jafar Jackson has said that both he and Michael sang in the movie, so I'm guessing they just transpose tracks together. So, like, it is Michael pretty much, and he's miming for the most of it or supporting the originals. That's not impressive to me. That's bullshit. Like, you're not fucking acting. The parts in between the songs, if you take the songs out of it, nothing happens, and he's wooden as fuck. Coleman's great because Coleman is great. Jafar Jackson offers nothing. Like, and the issue is, it starts off with his dad's an asshole. He's telling him he needs to dance and move, and then he goes into the studio and he's dancing and moving, and then the producer says, you need to stop dancing and moving. So he stops dancing and moving and does this perfect track. Fast forward a little bit. I need a good album. He does a great album. I need to do this. He does a great this. Like, there's no jeopardy, and there's absolutely no danger to the film. Everything is just so easy for him that I think, I just don't care. You're a Mary Sue, it would be the term, because everything just comes naturally to him. And that's kind of shit. In the world,
this is what happens.
But like when we used to watch Glee, for example, Stu, they would be sat around talking, saying, oh, we need to do a mashup, and then they'd stand up and do the perfect version of Hot in Here mixed with Centerfold, I think it was, like off the bat. And that's what this was doing. Like, you've told me nothing about Michael Jackson here. At no point do I feel like I knew any more about Michael Jackson than I did before seeing the film. So what was the point in it? I know the point's to make money, but like, as an artistic expression, you've told me nothing. You've just wasted 2 hours of my time on something boring. When I could have just sat at home and put Off the Wall on, I could have just banged the vinyl on and job done. It was just a waste. That was my issue with it. It was so unnourishing. There was nothing to it. Empty calories, I think, would be the term.
It's even 2 years for the second one.
Well, I mean, I know they said it's in production, but it still hasn't been officially greenlit.
I mean, what they're going to call it Jackson, just so you can have them both together like that.
But like, surely the second film's just going to be child porn. So what the fuck? How are you going to make a film just about that period of his life?
Starting dangling towel off the balcony.
It's going to have to be, isn't it? It's going to have to be the wacko part of Wacko Jacko, because I think that's where it really kicks off.
Well, that's what people will be interested in, won't it? We all know he was a very good musician, but that's not why we're interested in him.
I kind of feel like, though, if you do that, you don't get the rights to the music, because obviously it's his family involved. His family aren't going to want him being a paedophile on screen. So, how do you do it?
Allegedly.
I don't think you need to do it anyway. I mean, it was mentioned. All you need to do is just to put him on. Yeah, him on camera admitting that he slept in bed with kids on camera. That's there. Like, who do you get? Raoul Coley in as Martin Bashir. There you go. That's a job done. Job for the boys.
Tick.
Just recreate that. That's not even. That's there. I watched that this morning, and he looks like. Look, watching it again now, like 20 years on, he looks like he's taking the piss out of him. If you watch that interview again when he's talking about all that stuff and how he wants to adopt 2 kids from every continent, it looks like he's taking the piss out of Martin Bashir. And I thought, when I watched that at the time, and everyone was horrified, I thought, weird. But you watch it again in a different context, it's very funny actually. But like they've got the greatest hits album, ain't they? And then the This Is It stuff, and so they have got enough without even talking about the weird kid things, which they can't legally mention anyway. So I don't know. It'll make loads of money.
Yeah.
It'll be funny.
The problem is that everything you've just mentioned there, which sort of touches on the interesting stuff, it's already available. Like, it's out there to watch. So why do you need another version of the exact same thing that you can just go onto YouTube, or like some of the stuff is actual documentary footage on DVD? So it just feels a bit worthless to continue it.
Yeah, but you can say that like, oh, why do we need another Batman film? We've already got it out. Why do you need another Spider-Man film? We've already seen it loads of times.
But you can still do new stories.
Yeah, they have a storyline that's not based on a real person, is it?
Mm-hmm. Like, even if they are adaptations of comic books, they're not straight adaptations. They are retellings. They're, this isn't that.
Did you have anyone singing in yours?
No. God, no. I mean, I had my earplugs in fairness, so I don't think that I heard anyone singing, but no. And there's definitely no dancing.
I was thinking that if they started dancing at Cineworld, you'd be blocking the screen anyway because it's right at the bottom with the little laser projector and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but there were a few at the very back who would obviously mound at because they were singing along to it. But it was like 1:30 in the afternoon on a Wednesday, and it was half full.
They're the kind of people that clap the plane landing, though, aren't they? Those people.
Yeah. Yeah,
and there were people cosplayed as well, cosplaying as Michael Jackson.
Oh my god! Which era? I do need to know.
Simpsons.
It was more like the kind of like the doll, the black and white kind of late 80s, early 90s era ones. They were obviously white people cosplaying as him, and
blackface,
glove and everything, and it was we could play it ironically as well.
That's another thing that annoyed me, actually. You've just reminded me. The voice. So Jafar Jackson does that. No, they're really squeaky, soft voice that Michael does. Michael doesn't fucking talk like that. He did in public. But when he was with his family, he had a fairly deep... Like, he was a black dude from fucking... Oh, it's not Cleveland, is it? Like, he had what you would expect a black person to have, that type of voice. And he just put this on for his white audiences. Why are you doing that in his film? Like, there's absolutely no need. It's such a sanitized bullshit fucking piece of work. It was infuriating, but like it's technically well made. That's the only thing I can say. Is like, technically, it looks like a film for most of it, but it's badly written as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to leave it next, otherwise I'm going to rant.
You say he did sound more like Mr. Jefferson than anything else.
He did, yeah, absolutely.
He's from Indiana, isn't he?
Indiana, that's it. Yes, yeah. Gary, Indiana, that's the one. Yeah. Okay, that's segment 1 done. Let's move on. Quick break. We'll be back because we're starting off our animation month. Welcome back to the second part of the pod. Right, okay, so I have a theory, basically, that over the last 40 years or so, there have been 4 distinct important ages in animated adult comedy. By adult comedy, I don't mean like, tits and stuff, animated. Yeah, I don't mean that. I mean like all-age comedy, let's call it. So something that pretty much anyone of any age can sit down and watch. Like, don't get me wrong, you can sit down and watch Thundercats, but that's not really aimed at people over the age of 12, is it? Let's be honest. So for the next month or so, I thought we'll do an episode each on each of the 4 ages. So Simpsons, South Park, Seth MacFarlane, and then the streaming era of animation, I think, are the four parts of it. So each of these, I think it's going to be sort of talking about how they hold a mirror slightly to the viewer, I think is the thing with these kinds of animation. It's like The Simpsons being the cultural icon. It questioned the role of the family, I think, the changing role of the family, especially at that period of time. South Park was very much the dark corners of society. MacFarlane deeped into the world of pop culture. And today, the streaming era questions existentialism. Like, it's all about the self, I think, when it comes to the modern grown-up animation. So whilst the genre did exist before The Simpsons, I don't think it's controversial to say that what John, Paul, George and Ringo did for music, Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa and Maggie did for TV. Like, attracting an all-age worldwide audience like nothing before and probably not since either, if I'm honest. So after the American sitcom centred around the nuclear family, Family Ties, The Cosby Show, Different Strokes, family where the father is the font of all knowledge, every problem solved within 22 minutes and a hug at the end. Although if it was Cosby giving you the hug, you might want to be a bit careful about that.
Lovely jumpers, though.
The best, yeah. The Simpsons offered a different kind of nuclear family, one where the father is mildly cretinous. The kids are just unruly little assholes. Like, these are things I don't think were particularly shown on TV prior to the 90s. So The Simpsons really changed the way that was actually viewed. It gave us something real and actually slightly complex characters. They all contained multitudes, which is also weird because obviously it's animated, and they're also like anarchic and dysfunctional and just an emotionally honest mess that is fairly fresh to televisual audiences. Like, they didn't teach you lessons, but they stumbled upon them, which I think is kind of good. Like there was no, like, obviously, Stu, you're a South Park fan. At the end of the episodes, you'd have them say, today I learned, and they would do a monologue about the things they learned in the episode. That wasn't the Simpsons. Like, that's a piss take of pre-Simpsons. Simpsons was more of a case of this is the story, and maybe there's a bit of a something in all of it, but who knows? It doesn't really matter, but maybe there is. And I kind of like that. It was chaotic, contradictory. It was disastrous, but also world building at the same time. And that's kind of what I love about The Simpsons. Like, it's more real than any 2.4 children sitcom could ever be, which is kind of shocking. Now, 3 of us are Simpsons fans here. One of us, quite famously, has said several times he's never watched it. So, Stu, I'm going to hand over to you to ask us some questions. But I've got a few questions for you first off. So, how much of The Simpsons have you actually seen?
And then what is wrong with you?
I watched the X-Files episode. I remember watching that, and I've seen a couple of Halloween ones, maybe a Christmas special as well. And I think you're probably talking less than 10 episodes, though. It's got to be.
I mean, there's over 700, so that's nothing, is it? Let's be honest, yeah.
Because when I read the question, I thought, off the top of my head, I can't think of any more than that. Like, I've seen it like when it's been on and stuff. I'm not counting that, but like when it used to be on when you get back from school, or when it was repeated and you have your dinner or whatever. And my brother watched it. Like, it's not one of them things that it wasn't in our house, because it was sometimes. It was just not for me at the time. So yeah, less than 10.
Crazy. Do you think it's too big to start now? Because like 700 plus episodes is a lot, and I know that Matt Groening has said that there's a rubber band reality, so continuity doesn't really exist, but maybe the odd thing does. Like Selma changes her hair in one episode in like one of the later seasons, and they keep that haircut, so it's very tenuous continuity. But that's still a lot to try and take in. Is it too big to start now, or could you just dive in, do you think?
I think probably what stopped me as well at the time was the fact that I wasn't watching it from the start. And we were talking about this yesterday, about how you are allowed to drop things. No. I'm not going to jump into something halfway through. And it was mostly on Sky One, wasn't it? And that was on either satellite or cable for us. We didn't get cable till 98, I think. Something like that. No, it would have been before then. Maybe 96. So it was already on. I'd already missed like loads, and obviously not back then. You ain't gonna get VHS box sets of it all. And if you did it was like bigger than a phone book. So whenever I tried to jump in like that, and I know was it on Channel 4 as well? Like at some point.
6 o'clock on Channel 4.
There was no way of getting into it from the start. So I think that's what kind of scuppered me back then. And then obviously when it comes to the streaming era and the torrent era where you can do that, and people at uni did have all of them, like ripped from YouTube or ripped from early video sites where they've been uploaded to, and the quality was terrible. And it's like, it's almost like it's too old now for me to get anything. Like the cultural references, I don't know what they are, so I'm not going to get anything out of it. So it's like, well, yeah, this just has to be cut from existence.
With the snippets that you have seen, is there anything that you think that you feel you missed out on, or anything that you feel looks kind of dated now and probably, like, I don't know, just it looks dated and you think it probably wouldn't exist in this form in the modern day?
I don't think it's dated or like wokery or anything like that. I don't think that really applies to it from what I've seen anyway. It doesn't seem to have changed that much. I think the only thing, like, podcast emeritus Dave Evans, over on Fancast, putting Simpsons references in all the time, and me being mainly the only one who's got no idea what's going on. A bit like Matt with Peep Show stuff. I think that's probably more than like my biggest problem with it all, and what I have missed out on. So from that point of view, I thought, yeah, you've got 30 years of references that the vast majority of people know, and you've got no clue. But other than that, I'm going to sleep sound.
That's fair. I mean, in fairness, like there's the golden period 3 to 9. You could just watch them and like be happy, but I get it. I do get it. Right, Stu, I'm going to pass over to you now to ask us a few questions of our opinions and thoughts on this show.
So, I mean, this will apply next week as well, but how do you wrap your head around the fact that Bart has been 10 years old since 1989? Has a floating timeline ever ruined the emotional stakes for you, Ashley?
You've asked a Pokemon fan, and I watched Ash Ketchum try to be the Pokemon champion of the world for 30 years, and then at 10 years old, he finally won it after 30 years. No, I've got no issues whatsoever, because that'd be the greatest hypocrisy ever if I did.
Ed?
No, I think it works because it's animated. Obviously, if it was a human actor, that couldn't work. Macaulay Culkin couldn't stay 10 forever, could he? So Bart can. No, it's never bothered me. I think the characters are genuinely complex enough that you can see past it. Just they're also yellow, so none of it makes any sense really. But they are so genuinely well written that I haven't seen many new episodes, but I stopped sort of watching probably like season 16, 17, and what was affecting pre-teens then, Bart and Lisa were dealing with, and I'd imagine they're doing the exact same now. So I think they've moved with the times rather than, the times move with them.
That's exactly what they do. So in the most recent seasons, they've had stories about Homer and Marge getting together, and obviously we'd have seen them way back when, and they'd have been getting together in the 70s. Now they're getting together in the noughties, the 90s and noughties. So it does move with the times. So it's a fixed point relative to that, which makes sense because that's the only way I think you can do it and keep it relatively fresh. And I've got to say, like a lot of people, like most people, I think dropped out around the same time. I think I initially made it to, I think I watched season 19 and then quit when it went to the HD era. But like I've rewatched all of them now, just before Christmas, and there is a lull, don't get me wrong, from probably 20 to 24, 25, but it does pick up again, and there's some really good episodes in there that are worth watching. I think that is the making of the show, is that it does have that, they're static, but the world moves to keep up with us rather than the other way around. I think that's how it has to be done. I think it works well because of that.
It's almost a bit like Bond as well, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that's obviously in the 60s, and then it's never mentioned when you've got invisible cars and things like that.
Yeah, the Doctor No, they wash off radiation, let's not forget. Check his fingernails, there's still 1% left,
This is what he's missed out on all this time.
You haven't, Andy, trust me.
I haven't. I've seen some of them.
The new Bond game is being talked about as Game of the Year in the preview.
It does look good, to be fair. Well, I mean, I've no interest in the films, but the game does look good.
Nightfire and GoldenEye are two of my favourite games of all time. Nightfire was brilliant.
Can't do it. That was the first game I played that was FPS, and that's where I knew that, I can't do them. That was the game that told me that they're not for me.
Nightfire and Pro Evo was basically university. It's the reason I got us 2-2 and not anything better. That and Championship Manager 4.
Oh, yeah, Championship Manager. The ruler of many an exam.
Bloodstone as well. Bloodstone was, I think he got a 7 out of 10 on IGN back in the PS3 days, and it wasn't great, but it was fun, and it had Daniel Craig in the game, and I think it was Natasha Bedingfield did the soundtrack, and his age, the product, but that was okay for what it was.
Shit. Why is that turned on?
I mean, that's not Natasha Bedingfield either.
Leanne Rimes, is that?
Yes, Leanne Rimes.
Yeah.
Was she 15 when she recorded that song?
She was either 15 or 32. She always looked like she could either be a child or really old. I couldn't quite figure it out.
We're back to the MJ discussion, I think, aren't we?
Because when that came out was when we were doing... we were helping out doing mobile DJing as a kid.
Fuck me, Stu. How is this never been mentioned?
How many lives have you had? You're only 1 year older than me, and you've done so much more than me.
Used to deliver coal, used to deliver fucking pop. Now you're a fucking mobile DJ.
We were just helping out.
You're a Peter Case sketch. That's what you are.
Mr. Carl Wyatt. He used to do the stuff. He used to do like the disco things at the Con Club on a Friday and Saturday night. And because my cousin Andy used to, I don't live there anymore. He used to live around the corner from there, so I'd stay at his house on the night before. Mostly on a Saturday night. Obviously, I'd go to the match first, and then I'd stay at his, and then we'd go around the club, and he obviously got friendly with him and stuff. And yeah, so we used to we queued up the track list and stuff with the old discs, and that was. There is a photo actually. I'm going to shut this cat out.
It's so Phoenix Nights. It's unreal.
It is. It's the Peter Kay experience. It's not just Phoenix Nights. It's the first bit when there's loads of different professions that a working man has done. He's going to tell us in a couple of weeks' time he did ice cream.
Yeah, 100%.
Delivering
like Johnny Vegas.
Yeah.
Who's ready for ice cream? No, my same cousin. We used to do on a Friday. We was at my nan's. He used to do. Remember those disco balls that we used to have? Like everyone had a motorised disco ball, like late 90s.
Everyone, and it's just you.
He had decks set up in like Nan's back room, and he was like spinning the tracks. There is a photo somewhere of this occurring, and yeah, that got cancelled because he had the idea of getting a house fan and then throwing talc into it to make it be a smoke machine. And obviously it just went everywhere. It didn't come off. So he ruined like the chairs.
It's just incredible.
Oh, God.
Oh, fuck it. I've had such a shit life. I've never thrown talc into anything.
That wasn't me. That was Andy. That was not my fault. This is just things that happen.
It's not, though. Stu, it's not things that happen to everyone else.
So you're a character from the fucking Beano, Stu. That's the only way I could put it.
Fucking Bash Street Kid.
Wow.
But yeah, so that's what we're talking about.
Mobile discos.
How do we get from Leanne Rhymes to...
This is Ash's fault.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, because I remember that song coming on and we were about 14, 15 and they were like, she's only the same age as you and she's got a song out. I went, yeah, but we're here. There's a bit of a difference. Like, we're not going to make a song, are we? And we never did that. That'd be silly, wouldn't it?
I mean, that's next week's story.
I still don't believe you. In a month's time, it's going to be. We had an England World Cup song from 1998 that didn't quite make it.
I mean, the only.
No.
Oh dear!
See, I told you.
Yeah.
No, the only songwriting thing I've ever done, and this is like. No, this is like peak 90s, and we changed. There was, and it's a bit on PC as well, obviously, but there was rumours that one of the, and this was 1996, so, and there was rumours that one of the lads at school was gay, so we changed the lyrics, the words to "I'll be there for you," to "I'll be gay for you," and sang it in the corner and got suspended.
It's been a good
one day.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, Robin.
Dear me.
He wasn't gay either.
I don't think that's the issue there, to be honest.
So how old was Leanne Rhymes when she released that song? Leanne Rhymes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is your fault, actually.
This is not in big my life. This isn't.
So she's 43 now. So yeah, she would have been about the same age. Yeah. No, August 1982.
What a fucking tangent that was. Unreal.
Only the diehards are going to get through that part.
Yeah. Well done if you're still here.
Yeah, thank you for staying with us. We will talk about The Simpsons.
I mean, this is better than The Simpsons, obviously. I'm just looking if I know I saw that picture not recently, so I have got it saved on my phone.
It was mentioned in the other group chat, the Walls group chat, of how many bloody photographs of you, Stu, I've got on my phone.
Yeah, but this is not my
Some
fault.
of them are from when you're an actual child as well.
Yeah, but there is all context for it at some point.
There is.
It just when you look in your received folder and it accumulates.
Yep. My 11-year-old has asked me who you are.
I mean, the fact that no, Ash won't know this, but yeah, I was projected onto a school wall as well this week as a project.
It doesn't even bat an eyelid anymore. That's the thing.
Project.
They used, my own child used me as a subject to study.
Wow.
Yeah, so next question.
Stu, you're in charge of this section.
I know I've now lost all train of thought and power.
Because what you said about The Simpsons, by the way, will be me with South Park. I've never watched more than 5 minutes of South Park.
Okay, you'll be taking charge on that one.
Yeah. But when Andy said at the start of the episode of it, it's holding a mirror up to the family. But Homer is an incompetent high school dropout who owns a 4-bedroom house, 2 cars, supports a family of 5, cat and a dog, all on one salary. Is The Simpsons now actually a fantasy show rather than realistic mirror? I mean, you wrote this, Andy, so go on.
It sort of is, isn't it? I think in the 90s it was attainable, especially like working in the field he was working in. But now the way things have sort of evolved, that the world has moved on so much, whereas obviously wages and everything haven't, it does change the dynamic somewhat, I think, within the show, that does make it seem almost fairy tale like, because what man can afford to keep all of that going on a relatively middle class wage in the 90s? That's going to be working class now. If I'm going to criticise anything about The Simpsons, that's one thing that I don't think it's kept up with. It's kept the American dream alive when the American dream doesn't exist.
Do they work in a reactor or something, or a power plant?
He's safety
inspector.
chief. Yeah.
I guess they suspend belief in that to allow him to do obviously The Simpsons. I feel like the first 3 seasons of The Simpsons, it's Bart's Simpsons, and then it moves to Homer from season 4 onwards. So that for him to be the protagonist, they have to sort of suspend disbelief, don't we, with what he can afford. And it is, even in the golden area, there's some in-jokes about the fact, how can he afford this? One of my favourite episodes has got Frank Grimes in it, who actually calls him out on it and says, how can you afford this? You've even got lobster for dinner, you know?
Is that the Pinchy episode? Is that why he's got the lobster?
No. It's Frank Grimes. It's Frank Grimes. It's when he joins the power plant.
Because Frank Grimes is basically the only person from our world who goes into The Simpsons effectively, isn't he? He's the one who can see through the fourth wall effectively.
Yep.
I think I think you can get away with it if you have it as Marge is on benefits and Homer claims disability allowance. You'd be able to get a house and 3 kids on social benefits. You'd be all right. It'd be sound.
Yeah, you just need a few Mexicans now, and it'd be all okay. Yeah, the image is now in the group there, if you want to have a quick look.
God. Here we go. Fuck, of course you're wearing a wolf shirt. Like, that's just the most Stu image I've ever seen. That's going out on the socials. Oh, I know what you mean now by the disco ball thing as well.
Yeah, everyone had one.
I didn't.
No, obviously not. The decorations on the wall, that strip of leather with that's the most fucking, the horseshoe thing. It's the most like working class. I don't know if it's outside of the Black Country or what, but I feel like everyone's nan had one of those.
Yeah. I never knew what they were for either.
It's good look, mate. It's good look.
Okay.
Look, it's exactly the same reason for why in my failed marriage, my mum wanted me to have a chimney sweep at the wedding because it's supposed to be lucky.
Did you have one?
No, that's
Did you sing
probably
the
why
second
I went
time as well?
There you go. There's the evidence.
No, unless it was Dick Van Dyke, I wasn't interested.
I had a roulette wheel at my wedding.
I had a really
What
good
for?
hog roast.
What do you mean, what for?
What was
I'm
the
a
year was the
gambling-
roulette for?
I'm a gambling degenerate. I've got to get something out of it.
Like a cassette. Oh, sorry, I was thinking like fucking Wheel of Fortune or something.
No, roulette wheel. and my marriage ended as well as Ed, seemingly. Oh.
Incredible.
Nothing to report. Nothing to report. Perfectly sensible wedding.
I mean, the more I think about it, Stu, you are the Homer of the group, aren't you? Like, it's just kind of dawned on me that, yeah, you're the Homer.
Yeah, he's had 1,000 jobs as well.
Yeah.
I mean, these were jobs, they're just experiences.
They're all on his CV. It's like fucking 8 pages long.
I mean, you talk about, well, that's on to question 3, about CVs, in a way. So when the show started in 1989, it was 37 years removed from 1952 to I Love Lucy, which, when we watched WandaVision, we'd be confused because we never knew what I Love Lucy was.
Yeah.
At times. We know 37 years removed from the start of The Simpsons, does a show that was built to break the machine eventually become the machine? Is it even possible to be subversive when it's owned by Disney? So, even I would say no. It's not possible. But that's from the outside looking in.
I think there was a time when Fox didn't care what it was doing because it was just making them money. And there was so many jokes around Fox in the show and they were subversive. But when it started to become a pastiche of itself, which is when I stopped watching it, you realise that either A, run out of ideas, B, they'd stopped doing their crazy shifts that they used to do when they wrote the golden era. Basically, people didn't go home till the jokes were perfect. And then when they changed to be a 9-to-5 kind of job, you could definitely tell the difference. So I think from what Andy said, and I trust his judgment, it feels like it's gone back to being better. And maybe it can be again because it will still make tons of money for Disney regardless.
I think because you have the short movies that they've put out on Disney Plus that are Avengers related or Jurassic Park related, that is slightly a little bit too pally-pally with Disney, whereas that would never have happened under, when it was Fox. Like Ed said, they used to take the piss out of Fox quite a lot, but because they were making, money hand over fist, it was never an issue. Disney aren't going to allow that, so they do have to fall in line somewhat. I don't really recall them taking any shots at Disney, especially post Fox merger. But yeah, they're very much part of the establishment now. Whilst I do think some of the episodes are better than they were, like the hit rate is nowhere near what it was. Like I remember putting in the group chat before, there's one run where there's like 12 of the all-time greatest episodes of any TV show, just back to back. And now you're lucky if you get like maybe 2 or 3 that you'll remember in a year's time. So they're definitely part of the machine, and that has impacted them in terms of, output.
It was interesting to see the Simpsons stuff is still at Universal and not Disney, park-wise. Like, it hasn't moved, or I know some of it's been moved now. But the clown thing is still there, and it's massive as well. And you think it's been a few years now, so it's obviously there under license.
Well, yeah, because it's Fox. It was never Universal, was it?
Yeah. So because there's no Fox Park, it's obviously there on license from Fox Disney. So strange situation to be in. I never even thought about that when I was sending the pictures of the place. But yeah, that whole section that I was sending the pictures of is that's a go-in, apparently.
Oh, well.
There you go. So you mentioned the 12 episode run. Top 5 favourite episodes, quotes, celebrity guest stars. Do as you please. And the favourite Simpsons-ism. I mean, even I know the Dough thing. Dough. And the Duff beer, which I'd had years... Again, Me and Goldie had Duff beer in 2004 in the Jolly Collier in Wellington because someone had been to America and bought back cases full of it and was selling it in the pub, and it was actually all right. So yeah, there you go. Top 5 quotes, celeb guest stars, Simpsons isms that have stayed along today. Yeah, Ash was deep in thought then.
I'm trying to think now. I'm trying to put a top 5 together. You can think of episodes, can't you? There's so many. Well, obviously, there's so many good episodes. Hank Scorpio has got to be up there. The entire episode. That's just superb television. Marge versus the monorail. It's just, yeah. Stonecutters. I'm trying to think. That's what, 3. Homer Badman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, Venus.
Gummy de Milo. It's the thank you at the end. It just tickles me every single time. Thank you. And I'm trying to think of one last episode. I don't want to go for the obvious ones apart from Hank Scorpio. I think Mr. Plow's the obvious, an obvious but not obvious one. I think they're my 5 episodes. I think it's too hard though, isn't it? There's just when it's good.
So many.
Yeah.
There was a lot of nodding going on then for listeners on the other 2, just nodding along like Churchill's. Well then, Ed, yours.
Yeah, Ash has got some of mine. The Only Good Lisa episode is one of my things that I say all the time whenever anyone talks about teeth. Dental plan. Lisa needs braces. So that is Last Exit to Springfield. That there's even a joke about British bad teeth in that. That's a great episode. The Springfield Files that you mentioned, Stu, that should be up there as well. And again, talking of guest appearances, Mulder and Scully are great in that. I think it is David Duchovny, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That plays it.
Yeah.
One of my favourite parts of that episode, because we can't, these, like the golden era is probably my favourite TV of all time, is when Scully just makes Homer run on a treadmill just to make him do some exercise. It's not part of the test to see if he's actually seen aliens. City of New York versus Homer Simpson. That's another good one. Obviously,
legendary.
Slightly touchy because it's got the World Trade Center in it, of course.
Hashtag never forget.
Homer having to go to New York, desperate for a pee, drinking crab juice. Hank Scorpio is up there as well. And I think the only other one that I've mentioned already, Frank Grimes, is a great episode. Probably my favourite, actually. But there are so many others, like Homer's Phobia, dealing with, I think that was like 1990, 1994, because I think it's season 8, trying to deal with a gay guy and how Homer can't really cope with it. And worried that Bart's going to see Stu. You're not going to get any of these, are you? Worrying that Bart's going to be a negative effect because there's a gay guy in the house. And of course, I guess Who Shot Mr. Burns 1 and 2 should be a shout out as well because that was a genuine cliffhanger.
One of my favourites in the second part of Who Shot Mr. Burns is when they're questioning Mo. And he's got the lie detector attached to him, and they said, "Are you keeping any illegal animals?" He said, "No," and it buzzes, and he says, "Okay, I'm smuggling ocelots," and I don't know why, but it's just fucking hilarious.
I've got a hot date tonight.
It's like Mo. I think is probably my favourite non-Simpson Simpsons character. Like everything Ralph does is one of my favourite things. I love Ralph Wiggum so much, but I think it's like a proper rounded character. Mo is the one because he's the one who's everything. I think whatever they need, a scumbag, a thief, someone to do something bad, regardless of what it is, Mo's the loser. He can do it. And I think he's so important to the plot because he's the jack of all trades there. He keeps it together.
Or as the ladies call him, Andy, hey, you behind the bushes.
Yeah. It's like the fact that he keeps calling Marge Midge, even after 20-something years later, after that joke first started, with no explanation whatsoever, it's still going on. Fantastic. nothing could possibly go wrong. That's something I still say. Silly as fuck. Love it. Everything's coming up Millhouse. Fantastic.
Thrill House.
They have internet on computers now. Just fantastic. The moment I knew that I loved The Simpsons, so when it was the episode when they were trying to get a name for their firstborn, and Marge suggests Larry, and Homer says, but all the kids will call him Larry Fairy. And says, well, what about Louie? Screwy Louie? And like they just rhyme a few names. And then she eventually says, how about Bart? And he says, Art, Cart, Dart, E-Art. No, can't see anything wrong with that. Obviously, if they'd gone one more to F, it would have been Fart. And that's when I knew that I was like, yeah, I'm going to be watching this the rest of my life because it's great. And I think probably Marge versus the Monorail, I think, is my favourite as well. It's a Conan episode, and I think the Conan O'Brien episodes of The Simpsons are probably the strongest ones. Bang in the middle of like the prime era of Simpsons. It's very much the town versus a reason. That's how it was built, and that's when I think The Simpsons is at its best. And it gave Phil Hartman license to be big and bombastic, and Phil Hartman was fucking brilliant on this show. Yeah. Like a proper underrated hero that probably wasn't even known that much outside of the Americas, I don't think. But yeah, excellent.
Yeah, Lionel Hutz might be up there for one of my favourite non-Simpsons characters as well. Obviously, he was then murdered by his ex-wife, was it? Phil Hartman,
yes, it was. Yeah.
But Marge vs. the Monorail, talking about guest appearances, Leonard Nimoy is brilliant in that.
Yeah. My job here is done. Well, you didn't do anything. You did not.
Does anyone else want to swap seats? That's the thing, Stu. You're going to have to move us on, Stu, because I will just do Simpsons quotes all night.
Yeah. A Cape Fear episode, like Sideshow Bob.
Best Sideshow Bob episode.
Kelsey Grammer.
Mm-hmm.
The Rumble from Money Plane. Just phenomenal. Like, he probably wouldn't fit into the celeb guest star because he's in too many episodes. Like, he's just part of the furniture in this series. And obviously that episode also has David Hyde Pierce, his brother from Frasier, playing his brother in this. And like the layers of jokes in it are so strong. When like, if so he treads on the rake and it hits him in the face, and he does the grumble. Yeah, like that's something I still do.
Yeah.
Like, it's just silly stuff that it does stay with you.
You know, I've got the bush thing, backing into the bush, as my only real reference. I mean, that was the only thing. I mean, I have talked about that before when I jumped into a bush with nothing on. That was a bad idea. But that got mentioned to me then, and I had no context to what it was. I mean, this was like 2005.
Another one of my things that I say all the time is I've tried nothing, and I'm all out of ideas, which is from Hurricane Neddy. That's another great episode when Ned goes crazy.
I think the Prohibition episode as well, I think I reference that quite a bit within my sort of friendship group of I will catch you, beer baron.
No, you won't.
I will. You won't.
The brothel episode as well. Like Abe walking into the brothel, seeing Bart's working there, turns around and walks out. Like, I think if you spend any time on any social media, you're going to see at least one Simpsons GIF put out there. It's just prevalent. It's just such part of the world's identity now at this point.
I also genuinely think I learned so much pop culture through The Simpsons.
Yeah.
That you then realise what they were referencing. Sometimes they were referencing something that I didn't get, and then you hear it later on, and it's like, oh, that's what they were talking about. And some of the stuff is just, especially in the Golden Era, is just so funny. When he comes out of Empire Strikes Back and he says, "Sir Darth Vader's Luke's dad," and spoils it for everyone in the queue. It's that's just genius.
It is the best. Like, unquestionably.
That's enough. Next time, we'll be heading to the Rockies to see a group of... You've put foul-mouthed fourth graders. They're not really, are they? Because, I mean, they do swear, but it's not really... We'll talk about South Park next week. That's fine. Mm-hmm. That's when Ed can move us along because he's bored, because he has no idea what's going on.
Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker's the only thing I know. And you're trying to tell me they're not foul-mouthed.
That was the film, not the series.
I went to see Liar Liar instead of watching that. We had a choice.
It's a good film, but yeah.
We had a choice, and I wanted to go to watch South Park, but my two mates that I went with back then in West Brom didn't want to wait the half an hour, so we watched Liar Liar instead.
That's when I went to watch.
Could have been my sliding doors moment, really, with South Park, I bet.
No, because I don't think you would have got it, really, without any context of that first season. Because
there's not much to get, in fairness, though.
It's mental, but it's like the whole Satan thing. It comes out of nowhere if you've got no idea what's going on. When I went to watch The Game with Michael Douglas, and they wouldn't let us in, so we went to watch Mike Bassett instead. Like opposite films.
That's fucking awful.
It's time to watch it again soon.
I still think Operation Get Behind the Darkies is one of the most fucking outrageous bits of fucking humor I've ever heard.
Yeah, I suppose without context, that is something, isn't it?
After the break, it's time for the short film review. Today, Umbrella. Ella.
Right, welcome back to the third segment. Yeah, it's been going on. Third segment of the podcast, which is the short film review. We're going to be talking about Umbrella, which I can't quite figure out if it was actually released in 2019 or 2020, but it's by the by. Directed by Helena Hilario and Mario Peace. It follows Joseph, a boy living in an orphanage whose only dream is to have a yellow umbrella, apparently inspired by true events. In 2011, the director's sister visited an orphanage where the boy asked for an umbrella because it reminded him of the last time he saw his father. So that's the background to this film. We've got 60 seconds to give a review on it. In fairness, this film only clocks in at like 5.5 minutes or something like that. So I don't think we'll need a full minute on this one. Stu, because you got to sit and listen for so long in the last segment, you can go first. Tell me when you're ready.
First. I thought this was going to be like Annie. As soon as they walked into the orphanage, and you've got the kids' home thing above the door, and I thought, oh, okay, this animation style's a bit different, and it's silent. There's no speech in it whatsoever, and like the one with the things coming out the eyes with the pearls. I thought, okay, this is going to be moving, and it's going to make me cry. And did it? Probably yes, it did. It was a lot sweeter than I expected it to be, considering what it's about, and then it delves deeper and gets a lot darker than you realise. The fact that it is so short and they get so much told in such a short space of time is quite remarkable. It looks a lot bigger budget than it actually is, even though I thought it's going to be like Coco Melon to start with, but it's not. It got a lot better than Coco Melon. It's a work of art, this is. Watch it.
Excellent. Ash, you're like next to Stu on my screen, so you can go next. Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready. Go. So, as it started, I thought, okay, this is just Toy Story 3. And then it kind of was. And then these two kids come together about this yellow umbrella. And I was like, okay, so this is How I Met Your Mother. And then it kind of really was about like How I Met Your Mother, because it all started about the yellow umbrella. And then I watched a dude leave his son at a doorstep and fuck off. I was like, what are we doing here? This is outrageous. At least let him go to sleep first. But yeah, no, it was very sweet. And then the end was up. And I was sat there like, I've watched too many fucking films and TV shows here, because all I'm doing is just referencing other TV shows and films that I enjoy. And it all works quite together. But no, it was very sweet. You kind of saw... I don't think there was many surprises, but I think it's well worth your watch.
Excellent. Thank you. Ed?
Yep.
Tell me when.
Yep, we can go.
Cool.
So, similar to Ash, Up is probably the most I've ever cried in a cinema. The opening to Up is so devastating, I've never watched it again. And that's where I thought we were going with this, and at the end it definitely was. It's worth your time watching it. It's what every John Lewis ad tries to be. It manages to get so much feeling into such a short space of time. We have a son being left because they're refugees, and his dad wants better for him. As one of those horrible phrases, but as a parent, you can feel that, because obviously they're in an awful place. I don't think it's overly schmaltzy or overly sentimental. I think it does a really good job of staying the right side of it. It feels grounded and relatable. It's well worth your time. And they managed to pack so much into so little and with no words. I think it's The Sims meets...
there we go. That's a minute.
John Lewis.
Pursuit of Happiness was another one.
Right. So this film lasts pretty much all of 6 minutes if you take out the credits. There's such little time and they manage to pack quite a lot in. It's the power of simple acts of kindness, the memories which they hold, and the importance of holding on to those tiny moments. They may feel insignificant, but they can shape the person that you are. It's beautifully tender. There's a light touch to the animations, a soft, delicate colour palette throughout. It's kind of crushing and quite uplifting in equal measures. Not a word is spoken throughout this, but the cadre of emotions pour from the screens. The use of orchestral music, soaring and subsiding, bringing the happy and the sad, it's kind of wonderfully sweet. It is unashamedly sentimental, bordering on mawkish potentially, but in a world that is sorely lacking in empathy for those less fortunate currently, this is a net positive. It's a film which wears its heart on its sleeve and leaves you with a lump in your throat. I was also thinking exactly the same as Up was all I could think when I was watching this film as well. I just think that's the touchstone for this movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
I hate that film. Because it's so good. I love it, but I can't watch that opening scene. It's like that and Saving Private Ryan, I can't watch the opening scene of that either. I can watch the rest of the film, but I can't watch that. I
think Up is probably the second best Pixar. I think Inside Out is probably the best. I think that's the only perfect film they've done. But they've got a lot of very, very good.
Wall-E.
Yeah, unquestionably. Right, quick break. We'll be back for the final part, which is Born on the 4th of July. Welcome back to the final part of the podcast. So, released on December 20th, 1989. Merry Christmas. Here's a cripple. Ash, you seem to have watched a fair few war films, especially in comparison to me. Did you know much of this film before? Because, other than I knew, my only reference to it is in the Blink live album, the Mark, Tom, Travis show, where I think Mark says to Tom, "You look like Tom Cruise in that film where he's all retarded and shits himself." That's my only reference to this movie that I've got. Were you aware of this before?
No,
before having to do it for this?
No, this is beyond me. It's not really a war film, is it? The first half of the first half an hour, 45 minutes. And then he just turns into a raving hippie, and it's just kind of... No, I prefer my war miserable and sad.
Ed, you're a bit of a history buff. Obviously, Vietnam, is that something that you're particularly interested in?
Yeah, so my last year at uni, I did America in the 1960s, so Vietnam was a major part of it. I think I'm going to go against the grain from what I've seen in the group. I quite like this film. I wouldn't say I loved it, but I thought it was quite good. I think it portrayed... it was the first time, I think, in American history where the people rose up against the America is always perfect. And I think it does a really good job of that. I want to read the book because I can imagine it probably delves into a little bit more because it's obviously based on the actual Tom Cruise's character. I found it fascinating. I've never understood, even though I've done it at university, I never understood why America was so scared of the communists that they were willing to go 13,000 miles to fight a war that they weren't invited to.
Stu, Vietnam is probably the best war when it comes to films. I just think it's got the best soundtrack for a start, which I think makes a bit of heavy lifting is done by that. But yeah, I think when it comes to wars, I think it's the best war.
I mean, in Vietnam, you probably were 19, so... yeah, I mean... and by Oliver Stone as well. Yeah, I know what you mean. And I did kind of... I liked it as well. I really like this film. I had no idea about it before. I knew of it, because they said it was harrowing and it was some of the scenes were pretty bleak, which they very much are. But I didn't know anything about this Ron guy. I don't really know anything about other than the films. Don't know much about Vietnam and all that kind of stuff. So it's not something that they taught us at school, is it? Really?
It's not really, no.
And you have to go out of your way to learn it yourself. And you're obviously, from an English speaking point of view, you're going to get a certain warped opinion of that, not necessarily the full truth. And so it's something I've not really looked into too much. But yeah, I was surprised by this film.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so I'd put in the group chat, I'm 90 seconds in and I know I'm going to hate this film. It starts off being, like, I know it's Oliver Stone, and we've spoke about Oliver Stone before because we did World Trade Center, #NeverForget, and he does these kind of pro-America propaganda, for want of a better word. So I went into this with that knowledge. I saw it being a little bit too... It looked like they were going to glorify it, was my initial thoughts, and they didn't. And actually, I thought this was a really good film. This ended up being a much better film than I thought, and it is quite fucking bleak throughout most of the movie. And I think he does a lot of good work in this, to the point that I think this might be one of maybe his best performance. And I say that knowing that I love Top Gun and I love his performance in Rain Man. I think this might be his best performance to date, though. I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
I think I messaged you, didn't I? I don't think I put it in the chat, and I said, this is a bloody good Cruise performance, this.
Yeah. The scene where he's talking to, is it Tommy or Timmy? The guy with the moustache, the dodgy moustache, and they're talking about their time over there. That, I think, in a different actor's kin, might not have been as good as it was. He managed to handle that without it making it either sound holier than thou or, like he said earlier, overly sentimental or overplayed. That scene, if you were to try and watch this film second screening it, you would put your other screen down to watch that part. I thought that was an incredible scene.
There's quite a few scenes like that, I thought, that were just heart-wrenching. So the confession scene, like, it's hard not to feel. 27 years old, Tom Cruise, or it might even be slightly younger because he was 27 in 89, so it might have been 26, 27, putting in a performance of that magnitude. I think he's like, it's fucking light years beyond most actors who would have been mid to late 20s at that point. Just incredible performance.
I think the extras or the bit part players in that family did really well as well. I think that scene, considering they aren't any actors of any note, and when I IMDb'd it, they were way down. I thought they're really good as well. That family did. That was a really impressive scene.
It's obviously it's not the same, but I don't want to say I put myself in my own shoes, but it made me remember, because obviously, as we've gone about, obviously with losing my dad in Afghanistan, I've met the people who were with him when he died, and they've talked to me through it all. So obviously it resonated a lot with me, that whole thing. And yeah, it was really good. Sorry to bring it down.
Well, that's
Expect
it.
nothing less.
Yeah.
Thing is, that's exactly what I was thinking at the time when I was watching it.
Yeah.
I thought, you make it, Ash, what's this?
He watched Warfare. Honestly, I couldn't make him watch anything worse than that film. So if he's got through that, I know he's okay.
Oh, what did I say to you when I watched Warfare?
I need therapy, I think.
Hashtag better help.
But yeah, absolutely. Sorry, Stu, carry on.
Like the stuff where in the shitty recovery hospital with all the 1960s, like, it just looked like an awful place to be. And that lunatic screaming at the screen, needs to shut the fuck up and all this stuff. Cruise with a beard as well. Strange sight.
It's stick on as fuck, though, isn't it? Like, it just looks...
Yeah,
it looks terrible. Like, he hasn't hit puberty.
Yeah, it's Team America Derpa Derpa.
Yeah.
His hair was pissing me off. I don't know what it was. It just didn't look right, and I don't know what it was. It pissed me off.
It was the mullet part.
Yeah. Although if you Google the actual guy, that is genuinely what his hair looks like.
Yeah.
So it's quite a good... But that hospital, that was the PTSD that I think is still probably a little bit of a stigma. The way they handled it, I thought, especially for 1989, was incredible that they didn't shy away from it.
Yeah,
I think it was a really good film.
Do you see what they said on IMDb as well, that he got loads of animal manure and just put it all over the room, so the place actually stunk like a proper shit box.
Oh, that explains it, because Tom Cruise has said that this is the hardest shoot that he's ever done because of that scene in the hospital. He said it was exhausting, painful, and it was just emotionally draining. So, yeah, I suppose if there's shit smeared on the walls, that will explain why.
Yeah. And the whole thing, I remember my granddad having a catheter. He was in his 80s. He don't care about that kind of thing anymore. But it was the fact of, it's now broken beyond repair. So he's got a tube sticking out of it. And you think, like he's saying in that film, how young he is, and it doesn't work anymore. And when you get to the hookers and Willem Dafoe and all that kind of stuff, I think, paralysed from that part down, which I never really thought about that before. But obviously, that's going to be a thing.
And again, how prevalent that was in the film was that shocked me. That every now and again there was just a scene when he was having to catheterise his pee away, and his dad did it for him when he's 27 or whatever he is in the thing. I think that again, the realism was really surprising. Yeah.
And when he's pressing the button as well to call him in that bed that goes round, he's like, I'll shit myself, come and clear it up. And I'm like, wow. Okay.
Yeah. The Willem Dafoe of it, he's not in it for a long time, but he's in it for a good time, isn't he? I thought he I love Willem Dafoe anyway, I've got to be fair, but Ed, you point out actually all the bit part players in this. Willem Dafoe I thought was great. The woman who played his mom, she was such a cunt. She was fantastic. She was horrible, wasn't she?
Yeah.
But so many of them, they just came in and they absolutely smashed it. So obviously this is 1989 Stu. Wild at Heart is 12 months later, which obviously was Willem Dafoe with those fucked up weird teeth in, which is the performances are night and day. They're both great performances, but just comparing those two films that we've seen, I think we've seen quite an emotional range of Willem Dafoe.
And he's looked the same age since he was born, by the looks of it as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't guess how old he is. He could be 60.
No.
He could be 28. Who knows?
Ugly Paul Rudd, isn't he?
One of my favourite stories about Willem Dafoe is that his dick was so big when he had to take it out in, I think, Antichrist. They had to use a prosthetic that was smaller because people wouldn't believe his dick was that big. I don't know how true that story actually is, but as a legend, that is fucking tremendous, isn't it?
Michael Oakes, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Right, does he run? Well, he's a paraplegic, so...
No, he does run at the start.
He runs to prom. In the rain.
Yes, he does, doesn't he?
In the rain.
Yeah. Does he take his shirt off? I don't think he did, but he does shit himself, so he does have to clean himself up at one point. He does wear sunglasses, though, when he's hippieing around in Mexico. Explosions, there's a few, because obviously it's a war film. Cruise doing cruise things. The obsession, once again. So Cruise spent months with Ron Kovac, learning his speech patterns, his breathing, his physical tics, how Ron used his wheelchair. He spent hours learning how to become Ron, not just learning how to play him. He was Ron, to the point that even between scenes, he stayed in character. He felt he owed it to Ron to give his words meaning from his book. He felt a debt to him. So that's very Cruise. They're just obsession. That's him, isn't it, to a T?
And not just staying in character, staying in the wheelchair on the shooting days as well. Mental stuff.
Did you read on IMDb that the real Ron Kovac gave him his Bronze Star for his performance?
Yeah. Just incredible. Obviously, it's not quite stunts, but he was insistent on being dragged along the floor, and he put his body in physical pain to make sure that it looked authentic. Like we spoke about in previous episodes, authenticity is king with Cruise, isn't it? So the audience won't feel it if he doesn't feel it. It seems to be his mantra, and that's what he does here.
Did you see that there was another thing as well, that him and Oliver Stone looked into finding actual drugs to make him semi-paralysed for a bit, and they said it was too dangerous to do it.
Fucking hell. This man is a mental case.
Just insane. Cruise has said that this role changed his life. It was the moment he knew he could be an actor with purpose. He felt he owed it to Ron Kovic to honour what Ron had lived through. He said that Oliver Stone pushed him harder than any director. He demanded total vulnerability, total commitment, and he respected him for that. Oliver Stone, in turn, was full of praise. He was initially sceptical because Cruise was pushing for the role, but he just thought that Cruise was just a pretty boy. But Stone has said that he won him over because he never complained, he never asked for a break, he did every physical scene himself, he stayed in the wheelchair between takes, he pushed for more takes, if anything, not fewer. Cruise was just an absolute machine, it seems like, throughout this film. Scientology watch, right? Yeah. So around this time, there's a guy called Larry Wollersheim. Larry Wollersheim was a Scientologist throughout all the 70s. He bought in big time, and like a lot of Scientology seems to be like, you know how the stonecutters like slapped each other's backs and propped up each other's businesses. That didn't quite work for Larry. So eventually he got to the point where he's like, I'm not getting anything out of this. He decides to leave the church. The church enacts what is known as fair game. Fair game means that everybody is fair game. If you're not with us, you're against us. So the church went like balls to the wall to try and take him down. They were harassing him to the point that like they were trying to say, I believe that it was Wollersheim who they tried to say that he was a paedophile, that he was this, that and the other. And that's all fair game. That's where the term comes from, that they can trick, sue, lie and destroy anybody who leaves them. So he takes them to court to sue them because that's not a religious practice. That's abuse. But this is the trial where we find out the secrets of Scientology. So this is the fun part of Scientology to normal folks. The OT3 document, so this is the operating thetan level 3 documents. They have different levels of fucking psychopathy. Once you hit OT3, basically, I think it means you're clear. It means you no longer have thetans attached to your body. A thetan is effectively a soul, I believe. Anyway, they're high-level secrets that teaching the Xenu story, the Galactic Overlord. The Church fought tooth and nail to keep these secrets, claiming that they were trade secrets, and that seeing them without proper training could cause, and I'm not joking, if the world knew about this, people would get pneumonia or die if they found out about this story without the actual training. So anybody who's listening, I'm going to tell the story now. So if you get pneumonia or die, it's because you've not skipped ahead. So continue at your own risk. Right. There was an overpopulation problem 75 million years ago. There was a galactic confederacy made up of 76 planets ruled by a tyrannical overlord named Xenu. The confederacy was massively overpopulated. There was 178 billion people per planet. To solve this, Xenu gathered billions of these people, paralysed them with alcohol and sugar injections, and transported them to Tijiak Earth, as we now know it, in spaceships that looked exactly like a Douglas DC-8 airplane. He used to be in the military, is the reason why L. Ron Hubbard did. Xenu stacked these billions of paralysed people around the bases of volcanoes across the planet, specifically in places like Hawaii and the Canary Islands. He then dropped hydrogen bombs into the volcanoes, killing everyone instantly. The Thetans, as they became, but Xenu knew the souls, the Thetans, would try to escape. He used electronic ribbons and vacuum zones in the sky to catch the souls as they floated away. He then forced them into a 3D super colossal cinema where he brainwashed them with 36 days of propaganda, including the concepts of God, the devil and Christ, which Hubbard claimed were all implants to confuse humanity. These confused, brainwashed souls eventually clustered together and latched onto the only living things left, us. According to Hubbard, every human is currently covered in body thetans, invisible spiritual parasites that cause all our emotional and physical pain. Once you hit OT3, you no longer have those body thetans.
Well, obviously.
So if you now get sick or die, gents, I apologise. We're telling you the trade secrets of Scientology.
I'm just waiting for when Stu tells us in 1997 he was a Scientologist for a week. In a couple of months' time.
I don't think there's any like religious stuff though, or Ouija boards or anything like that. I don't think there's anything like that.
And this is what our Lord and Saviour Tom Cruise believes in.
I really want us to go on a tour of the Church of Scientology place in Birmingham.
Speed run.
Those speed runs look so much fun. Like, I couldn't do it because my knees are fucked, but they do look so fun. But like, I'm assuming that if we applied to go on a tour of the Scientology buildings now, they would probably check our socials, see this podcast, and hear us laughing at Xenu and Body Thetan, so it probably wouldn't allow us in. We might be suppressive people now.
A Douglas DC-3 Pan Am airliner in Lego form that's been released now. I was thinking, if that's a DC-8 and this is Scientology and this has come out this week.
Imagine.
Lego's a big Scientology.
There is a Scientology piss take in The Simpsons, isn't there? With the leader. That Scientology.
Yes.
Leader.
Yeah, absolutely. So the case, eventually Wollersheim won the case. He was awarded $30 million in the late 80s, so that's like $1 bajillion in today's world. They kept appealing because they're cunts. They kept appealing. It got knocked down to $2.5 million, so still good. They refused to pay for like 20 or almost 20 years. Eventually they paid, with interest and everything, they ended up paying him $8.3 million. And then he set up like charities and stuff to get people out of cults, to try and help people like deprogram if they've been in cults and stuff like that. So Wollersheim's tried to do some good with the money, at least.
Did he at least get an apology from Xanadu or whatever his name is?
Incredible. So, Big Three awards. Cumulatively, at the moment, we're 9 wins and 27 nominations for films featuring Cruise, up to Rain Man. At this one, though, at the Oscars, it won Best Director, Best Film Editing. It was nominated for Best Picture, Adapted Screenplay, Cinematography, Sound, Original Score. Tom was nominated for Best Actor in a Leading Role. He was up against Robin Williams for Dead Poets Society, Morgan Freeman for Driving Miss Daisy, Ken Branagh for Henry V, and Daniel Day-Lewis was the winner for My Left Foot.
One hell of a lineup, that, isn't it?
That is a heavyweight list, isn't it? Just incredible. That was the year that probably one of the most controversial Best Picture winners, Driving Miss Daisy. Like, with the other nominees for Best Picture was Dead Poets Society, Field of Dreams, and My Left Foot, and obviously this. And Driving Miss Daisy won, which feels a bit cheap. And like, you can see why people don't really respect the Oscars for these things, because it feels like a political move, that one does. It was also nominated for 2 BAFTAs, Adapted Screenplay and Cruise for Best Actor, losing out to Philippe Noire for Cinema Paradiso. I don't like that film. There was also a Golden Globe nomination for Original Score and 4 wins. Best Director, Best Screenplay, Best Picture, and Tom Cruise won his first award at the Big Three for Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture Drama. So a total of 9 nominations and 6 wins at the Big Three for this movie. The critical response at the time, mostly positive. Roger Ebert said, nothing Cruise has done will prepare you for what he does in Born on the 4th of July. He argued the film lives through Cruise's performance, praised the emotional power Stone achieves through Cruise's face and voice. New York Times, Vincent Canby said, a film of enormous visceral power, said Cruise's performance defines everything that is best about the movie. Barry McElhaney from Empire, he praised Cruise, saying it's a pivotal performance and called the film thoroughly moving. There are a few dissenting voices that said it was overblown and bombastic, but generally speaking, most are saying it's an emotional, intense film that does sort of tip into excess, but it's the 80s. Modern reassessment, it's still mostly positive. It's Cruise's first truly great dramatic role, Stone's most emotionally ambitious Vietnam film, a landmark in disability representation and anti-war cinema. Hugo Davenport of The Telegraph calls it the most historically honest Vietnam film. Chicago Tribune Dave Kerr says that the film's flaw says that it provides final proof that Tom is the real deal, a movie star with natural, unforced ability to connect. Even critics who find Stone heavy-handed still single out Cruise for being the film's anchor, the performance that legitimises the entire project. I think that's entirely reasonable. The budget and the box office. The budget was $17.8 million, and it got back $162 million. Like nearly 9 times its budget back. I say it every week. These films don't get made, and if they do, that's not the money they're pulling in the modern day. It's quite sad. Cumulatively, the budget so far, $170.8 million. His cumulative box office total at this point is $1,427,900,000. We're not even at the 80s, and he's already in the billion club. Just incredible. Ed, Cage or Cruise?
See, I think Cage could have done this because we know how crazy he is. But I think Tom's performance is genuinely so good that it can't be anyone but him. But I think this is the closest I've come to saying Cage.
So 1990, Wild at Heart would be the Cage one. It's a big performance that he puts in there. And I think like at least 75% of this performance needs to be big. I don't know that if Cage has got the 25% you need for the other bit. But I'm with you. Like it's Cruise, but I do think Cage could have done something quite interesting here as well. Ash?
Yeah, it's definitely Cruise, but talking without joking about it, I think he could have been Willem Dafoe. I think that would have, as I say, we joke about having them together, but I think he could have been Charlie very, very easily.
Yeah. Stu?
Pretty much the same as Ed, that this was the one where actually, I would have actually liked to see him do it because we know that he can at times. Definitely later on, if this was like 10 years later, 100%, he'd be able to do it. But yeah, I think for the first time so far that Nicolas Cage could have done this is maybe not better than, but a decent level close to what Tom Cruise gave.
Is Cruise the saviour of cinema or just another sinner, Stu?
100%. Nice, superb performance again.
Ash?
100%. Back-to-back superb ones. We're on a roll here.
Ed?
Yeah, it's a mind-blowing performance.
Yeah, and saviour for me as well. Like, it's just... Like, it's not hyperbole to say this could end up being like one of his defining performances, I think. I thought he was just phenomenal. If you enjoyed Born on the 4th of July, you may also like... Ash, what you got?
I got 2. I think I kind of sort of saw Forrest Gump in this a little bit. And I also saw, is the film called Brothers with Tobey Maguire and Jake Gyllenhaal? Is that the one that's called? I'm sure that's what it's called.
Don't know what that is.
Jake Gyllenhaal's in Jarhead.
I know Tobey Maguire is one with Tobey Maguire. Brothers, Jake Gyllenhaal, Natalie Portman, and Tobey Maguire. Yeah, Brothers.
2009. I have absolutely no recollection of that.
But you've now got Andy's attention because you said Natalie Portman.
Yeah. Basically, it's Jake Gyllenhaal and Tobey Maguire are brothers. Tobey Maguire's in the army. His helicopter gets shot down. He's presumed dead. Obviously, and Jake Gyllenhaal comes in and looks after the family, and then he's found alive, but he suffers massively from PTSD. It's
written by David Benioff.
Yeah, good film. Very good film.
Excellent. Ed? Oh, sorry, did you say you had 2 films? Or was that the second one?
Brothers and Forrest Gump.
Brothers and Forrest Gump. Yeah, sorry. Ed?
I think on the history bent, Nixon from the mid-90s, where you kind of see the ins and outs of what was going on in the White House at this time. Obviously, with my history head on. The speech from the start with "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country" by Kennedy. His rousingness that got people to sign up and to get people going. Then Nixon sort of rode that wave and was a completely different politician. And of course, obviously, the Watergate scandal. So that one is good if you want the context behind it all. And then I think I went quite route one. You know, there's obviously Platoon, which is Stone as well, I think, or you know, something like Jarhead. I quite enjoyed that with Jake Gyllenhaal again, and the brutal effects of war and what it actually looks like for a more modern look of it. And that's obviously Iraq, the Iraq War, which of course was almost as controversial as Vietnam.
Did you ever watch Frost Nixon from 2008?
Saw it on a secret screening. Really good.
Excellent. Yeah. Stu?
You know, I've gone more like Ed as well. I was thinking of the disabled thing. I'm guessing that's where the Forrest Gump is coming from. But it kind of reminded me a little bit, not so much in subject matter, but like vibes of the Hurt Locker. Which, have you seen that now, Andy? No. Oh, come on.
No, you have to watch that.
It's time. Just exceptionally well made film. And it's not as route one as you think it is.
I want to see Zero Dark 30 as well. I think that's the same director, isn't it?
Catherine Bigelow.
I want to see both, especially because it's Jessica Chastain as well, and I'm a bit obsessed with her. I want to see both of those films because I do feel like I'm starting to mellow very much on war films now. So they are on the list. It's just finding 2+ hours to fit those movies in.
I was going to say I really struggle with war films, not because I don't like them, but I really struggle with the fact that these are just normal. What is in most of these men that are sent out, I struggle with what that looks like in reality. So I always struggle with it, but this was one that just was I was able to look past that. So it was that good.
I've gone pretty route one with mine. Full Metal Jacket. I feel like Full Metal Jacket is the first half of a double bill because this is the sequel to Full Metal Jacket almost. Obviously, you have the training, you have the war, and that's the story. And this one is the war, the outcome, and the aftermath. So I think actually it would be a really good one. Obviously, you've got all the... Because it does ring true, doesn't it? I think that there's the indoctrination, the destruction, the disillusionment that comes with it, and then hopefully in the end activism to get a better world after everything, after all the shit. So I think that would be a fantastic doubleheader. And again, this is why I'm starting to think I probably do like war films because I got to see Full Metal Jacket at uni on a big screen, and it was like, this is just fucking tremendous. And because it's Kubrick, there's like lots of little details in there that are like, unlike a wanky film student side of things, I'm like, this is very smart. Scarf swish, it's just great. I love it. That's the point. Actually, talking about Kubrick, at some point we're going to have to watch Eyes Wide Shut, aren't we? Have any of you actually seen Eyes Wide Shut before?
No.
Oh, I have.
Is it as bad as is made out? Because I'm quite trepidatious.
Yeah, it is. I watched it. It was one of those ones that was on Channel 4 at 10 o'clock at night. So it was not great.
Okay. I'm a little bit worried about it. So I've been listening to a podcast where they discussed it for ad nauseum, and it sounds horrendous. Yeah. So yeah. Right. Okay. So next week's episode, South Park is going to be what we're discussing. The short film review is on a movie called Soft Rain. It's another short animated film. Considering this one was Umbrella, I suppose I'm just going for a rain-based one at the moment. The film is from 2021. It's available on YouTube. A man suffering from depression is caught in a sudden downpour of pink, fluffy balls. At a crowded bus stop, a cheerful-looking woman offers to spot him under umbrella, and together they enjoy the soft rain. I'm hoping it's going to be sweet. Looking at the animation, it looks very nice as well. So I'm kind of looking forward to this. I can't tell if it's proper animation or if it's claymation or quite what it is by the look of it. I'm quite excited to see that. The cruise film that we're going to be watching, we're done with the 80s, we're now into the 90s. This is one I've not seen before. It is 1999's Days of Thunder. 1990, sorry.
I was going to say, we've lost a decade.
We have a bit. So this is starring Carrie Elwes, Michael Rooker's in it, John C. Reilly, Randy Quaid, Robert Duvall, Nicole Kidman, and Tom Cruise. It is directed by Tony Scott, whom we've watched a couple of his films in the previous incarnation of this podcast. And obviously we've watched it with Top Gun, haven't we? Because That was him. True Romance as well. Domino. He's done a fair bit. A young hotshot stock car driver gets his chance to compete at the top level. I'm kind of worried this is going to be a poor man's Top Gun. That's my initial thought, just based on that. I've not seen it. I genuinely don't know what to expect. We'll see how it goes. Do any of you know this movie?
No. I'm assuming this is where he meets Nicole Kidman. Is it?
I don't think they were married at this point, but I think he was intending to be married. That will be next week's story, the divorce of Tom and Mimi Rogers. We'll get into that. That'll be the Scientology story. I'll make a note of that.
I think this is the first one I'm alive for, actually. Sorry.
I haven't seen this for years. I remember really liking this film. I remember when Rush reminded me of this. So I mean, again, talking nearly 30 years ago. So a proper classic Sky Cinema / Sky Movies kind of film. Or before Sky Action and all that kind of stuff was brought in. I watched it on there. I remember liking it, but it's been so long. Let's see if it was the youth talking. But obviously, this is my kind of thing.
Yeah, look, Tony Scott is so director. He's really good at B movies. So I'm hopeful, but I'm also a little bit worried because it's definitely never mentioned in the same breath as like Enemy of the State. Is it this one? So I don't know. We'll see how it goes anyway. Right, so that's us done this week. We've got another Tom Cruise film in the record books. If you want to get in contact, get us on the socials at CageFightingPod or emails to cagefightingpod@gmail.com. Make sure you subscribe to whatever podcast that you listen to us on. And if you could leave us a review, that would really help us out. But this week, Ed, would you like to say goodbye?
Goodbye, and I didn't get to say my favourite line from the whole film, which is "Don't say penis in this house."
And then scream it over and over again.
Then screams, "Big fucking erect penis."
Ash, would you like to say goodbye?
Let's go, Flyers. See you later, guys.
Stu, would you like to say goodbye?
And I think after that film, it's never been more appropriate than to say, "Heal the world, make it a better place."
It's goodbye from me too, and remember, be excellent to each other.